Hi, I'm Wanhee, and let's be honest, everybody wants to be cool or cooler. The problem is that the more you try, the less cool you look. How do you break through this contradiction? This video is going to show you the 7 laws that if you follow them will actually make you cool, scientifically. Let's get into it. Okay, look what I've done. I've made myself uncool by even making a video about becoming cooler. But I had to break this down for you, and the first law of cool is what I call nonchalant excellence. It's not when you're just good at something, but you're good in a way that is not try hard. That is like, oh, this happens to me all the time. If somebody does something well and then he's just so happy and so excited and he's showing to everyone, look what I've done. It's like, okay, great. Why are you so excited? Because that's probably the first time it's happened. But if you can do something well, but even just be like, yeah, that's just my default, boom, that's when you look cool. Now, of course, if you're trying to be nonchalant, then again, you're trying. This is the conundrum. I think a lot of gym bros, a lot of people that have really nice bodies, they're so eager to show it off, right? They wear really tight clothes like rash guards or like super tight t-shirts to like, look at my muscles. That's maybe excellent, but it's not nonchalant, right? But let's say you wore something when somebody looked at you, completely did not show off your physique, but you had a great body, which they accidentally found out. Boom, that is when it looks cool. And that brings us perfectly onto the next point, which is what I call the accidental. The unintentional is what makes it cool. Now, let's say you are really good at the piano. Let's say you want to show off to your date that you can play the piano really well. One thing to do is be like, oh, look, here's a piano. Like, let me play this for you. If you play well, it's cool. Like, it's nice, right? But imagine another scenario where you didn't even talk about the piano. You were on this kind of trip. She didn't even know you were there. She went somewhere and then you saw a piano. You started playing a little something and she was coming back, and through the window, she kind of saw you playing. She didn't even ask you to play. Now, I know I'm drawing up some crazy K-pop, K-drama scenario, okay? It's a little cringe, I know, but you get what I'm saying. Which is cooler in a way? If it's accidental and unintentional and it displays something about your character, not even excellence, just your character, that's when it's good. If a stand-up comedian asks you something on the spot, you didn't have time to prepare it, but you say something back that shows that you are witty or funny or confident, this is accidental. It wasn't planned, and boom, again, that's when you start to look cool. Next is what I call the avant-garde, the I'm not afraid to be different. A lot of people that seem cool is people that are not afraid to dress a little bit different. And that's why we start to associate cool with like dressing well and fashionable people, because they're able to express their body and their style in a way that's a little bit different to just everyone else. And within it, there's this subtext like, I'm not really afraid to try this. I'm not afraid of all this attention. I'm not afraid of people's judgments. And because it's something that we all aspire to be, we all want to be free from people's judgments. We all want to be more courageous and freely express ourselves. We all want to try these different kinds of clothing maybe. So people that can pull it off, they can look cool. Now again, I'm not saying go out, trying to peacock and wear the craziest clothes just to be like, oh, look how cool I am. Again, the more you try, the less cool you look. But there is a sense in which some people are genuinely expressive in that way that is a bit avant-garde, that is a bit ahead of the time. And this doesn't have to be in fashion, of course. Next is what I call the immersion and passion, the nothing else matters kind of energy. Like if you watch Freddie Mercury performing on stage, essentially his mustache, his face, his tank top, his trousers, like none of it's really that aesthetic. It's not that cool. He's not really a good looking man or anything. But on that stage, when he's performing, when he's singing, it just looks like incredible. He's like the coolest guy in the stadium because he's so immersed. He's so in the zone. This is why performers, athletes, when they're locked in their craft in a way that nothing else matters, when the world fades away and they're just in that zone, that's when we look at them and go, wow, I wish I could be more like that person. I wonder how they feel, and they look really cool. You also have passions. You also have things where you get completely immersed, where you don't care about so many other things, where nothing else starts to matter, and you're just going at it. It might be an instrument, it might be a sport, it might be a topic that you speak about. And when you enter that zone of passion and immersion, again, it doesn't have to be Freddie Mercury, Lionel Messi. You don't have to be these big stars. I'm just saying, when you're expressive of your passion and immersed immersed in something that you genuinely enjoy, that is probably the most attractive, the coolest you'll ever gonna look from another person's perspective. Next, the calmness under stress, the it's all good mindset. Now, for the fans of soccer, you'll know this. This team called Real Madrid, who are the royalty of this competition, they were losing in a very important football match, and everybody was like, oh my god, these guys are gonna lose. They are losing this match. How could they be losing? And in most cases, all the players would be panicking, angry, shouting at each other, trying to get them to play better. But the camera captured 2 of the players or 3 of the players casually smiling and laughing with each other about the situation, as if they knew they were going to come back and win. And I think they did, in fact, come back and win. I think it was Casemiro and Benzema, but they were just calmly chilling in the storm, in the stress. When everybody's freaking out, if you can be calm, if you can even smile, that instantly makes you stand out, makes you look cooler. Again, with every single point, if you're trying to use these concepts that I'm talking about, it just doesn't look cool. And by talking about these things, I realize I'm making myself look uncool, but it's a hit I'm willing to take to help you become cooler, right? If you look at martial arts athletes like Rickson Gracie back in the day, the way he would stay calm and control his breathing when all around him was freaking out, that's the sign of somebody who's got his shit together, and that's cool. Next, the courageous. We all want to be more courageous in the face of fear. It's not necessarily calmness here, it's more of a genuine courage in the face of risk and danger. If you're a successful risk taker, imagine Achilles in the battle where he would step up to fight Hector, or in the movie Troy when Brad Pitt steps up against this huge giant man, David versus the Goliath. If you can go against the odds, if you can take a risk, if you can face fear head on, and not only that, just be courageous enough and excellent enough to beat that thing that's in front of you, what's cooler than that, right? This is why a lot of the athletes, nowadays UFC athletes, back in the day gladiators, these guys were the most revered, the most respected and admired, because we all saw them and thought, damn, I wish I could do the same. I wish I could be more like that, be as courageous as they are. The original Conor McGregor on the rise had a lot of this, and he was pretty damn cool when he was coming up because he was so fearless. If you become more courageous, if you can display courage, these are things that will make you cooler as well. Next, the only true way to genuinely become cool, and that is to let go of your ego, your validation, the love that you want from other people. In essence, why do we want to be cool? Why do we want to do all these things? Because in some sense, you want to be loved a little more by other people, right? That's your ego seeking validation. Oh, I deserve to be loved. I deserve to be liked. I want to be liked because it makes me feel better. And because we're all like this, we all know why you're doing it, because you want to be more liked. Again, you've given away the rabbit, the magic. You're not cool anymore. But if you can be the person that has let go of that, and the person I think about in this case is Jurgen Klopp, another football character. He was a manager of Liverpool Football Club, and he had this thing where he didn't need to become the best. He didn't need to be known as the best manager in the world. He didn't need everyone to think that his team was the best. He was like, let's just go for it. If we fail, let's fail in a beautiful way.
We were maybe not the best team, but we always were able to beat the best team.
If we fail, then let's fail in the most beautiful way.
Instead of trying to beat someone and really caring and comparing yourself to get one up the other, if you can kind of just let it go and be like, I'm happy with where I'm at and I don't need you to love me, this is what's going to make you look damn cool. And this is probably the only one where I'm saying, instead of look cool, like you're genuinely cool. This is what cool means. Like, you're not hustling anybody to change people's impression of you. You're not trying to display certain things so that you're loved more by people. You've actually let that go and realized that people can have their expectations, but what matters most is how you are in the moment, and you can just kind of let that go. Almost like a Zen mindset. That's where it's at. And the final thing that ties this whole together is what you're doing essentially is creating in the other person a longing for a better version of themselves. That is really when you're cool. Whether it's accidental excellence, nonchalant excellence, whether it's immersion and passion, or calmness, or letting go of ego and not caring what other people think, or just all of these points that we've spoken about, why do they actually make somebody cool? It's because we look at that and we long to be more like that person. We create a longing for a better world, for a better version of ourselves when we interact with these kind of traits. And that's why somebody looks cool, somebody is cool, somebody becomes cool. Take these, use these tips however you will. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. There it is. See you next week.